grieving? What does it mean to absolutely be in a broken heart? I want to break that down for you because there's a lot of times that people just feel like sometimes I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. Not people. We absolutely feel that way. We feel like we're going to be like this for the rest of our lives and that there's no answer, there's no way out for me. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life and I might as well get used to it. I might as well get fact, hey Rosa, I might as well get used to the fact that I'm just going to be like this. And that is not the only way to grieve. That's not the only way to grieve. Today, I wanted to talk about the difference between grief pain and suffering. If you've been in any of my classes, this is one of the subjects we talk about a lot, the difference between grief pain and suffering. Friends, I want you to know that there's a huge difference between grief pain and suffering. Regular grief pain. We're all going to have it. We are all going to have grief pain. There's nothing that we can do that's going to take that away once our person dies. Once our person dies, once we have the loss, we are going to have pain. Now, whether we allow to let that pain in now and experience that pain, or we wait and see how things unfold is completely up to us. But all of us are going to have grief pain. And here's what I want you to know. Grief pain does not equal, it doesn't equal suffering. I know that you guys are going to be like, she's crazy. I'm suffering. This is painful. I can hardly do this. I'm absolutely suffering. Yes, it may feel like you're suffering right now. It may feel like you cannot move beyond this pain. But I'm telling you, there's a difference. There's a distinct difference between grief, pain, and suffering. How grief pain lives in the body is one of the ways, and how we tend to it instead of avoiding it. One of the things that absolutely causes suffering is avoiding the pain, avoiding the feelings, avoiding anything that has to do with grief altogether. Anything that has to do with grief. Oh, I feel the pain coming, but I don't want to do that. So let's talk about what pain is really. Just pain. Just absolutely pain. Pain is your body's internal alarm system. Pain is your alarm system. We're talking tonight about the difference between grief pain and suffering. So we're talking about grief pain, right? Pain is your body's internal it's an internal alarm system that lets you know something is off. It lets you know that something is not right. Pain, let me put that here because I didn't write it, equals an internal alarm system in your body. It lets you know something is wrong. It's a message that something is not right. The minute we start to feel pain, we know that something is not right. Here's the other thing, and I think I've shared this here before. I had a heart attack 1 year ago today. Look at me, it looks like I'm celebrating. I'm not. I had a heart attack 1 year ago today. And one of the things that happened with the heart attack, and we all know that women's heart attacks feel different. I was getting pain under my arm. I was getting pain in my shoulder blades. I kept feeling like someone needed to crack my back. That's what it felt like. I needed my back cracked. And then in the middle of the night, I was being woken up with this intense pain. I didn't have a feeling like an elephant was sitting on my chest. I wasn't choking in my throat. I felt it under my arm, in my shoulder blade, and then it felt like gas. It literally felt like gas, but it was only happening in my back. And one of the times that I went to the emergency room after I had the heart attack, the doctor said to me, and this is the truth, he said, the body doesn't know how to tell you what is wrong. It can only tell you there's a problem. So when our hearts are broken, when we're having problems in our heart, we might feel it in our stomach. We might feel it in our head. Our body doesn't know how to get the signal out. It hasn't read the book on how to translate the message. So a lot of times for me, my shoulders were hurting. Underneath my arm was hurting. And my body was trying to tell me, hey girl, You're having a heart attack, but it couldn't get that message across. So consequently, because this was so vague, they kept looking at other things. They were looking at my kidneys. They were looking at my liver. Pain is your body's internal alarm system. It's a message that something is not right. A year ago today, I had a heart attack and my body was trying to get the message out. We often think that pain is physical. We often think that pain is physical, as if I stubbed my toe. I stubbed my toe. I broke a bone. I have a migraine. It's painful. I need to have my gallbladder out. My side is hurting. But pain is also emotional. Pain is physical and emotional. This is pain. I want to put this up here. So, okay, you guys already know. We know it's grief pain, right? Internal alarm system. It's physical, check, and emotional, check. Here's the deal. Grief is also this way. We're just talking about regular pain right now, but grief is also this way. And a lot of times what happens is we miss the signs. Pain can be emotional, it can be spiritual. It can be spiritual, check, and it can be invisible. Your pain can be invisible, friends. It is not uncommon for us not to know something's wrong. How many times you say, something's wrong, but I don't know what it is? It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. Something feels off. Something's not working for me. Grief pain and just regular pain is internal. It's an alarm system. I'm going to take the word grief off of here right now because I'm really just talking about pain. I want to just make sure you guys understand I'm only talking about pain. It's an internal alarm system. It can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be spiritual, and it can be invisible. And it can all happen at one time. Hey, Miss Denise, how you doing? According to Johns Hopkins medicine, pain affects every part of you. According to Johns Hopkins medicine, pain affects every part of you. Your appetite, your energy, your sleep, your concentration, your mood, your emotional pain is no different. So we're talking about physical pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain, and invisible. Emotional pain doesn't show up on scans or x-rays or MRIs. It shows up in how we talk, and how we eat, and how we walk, and how we breathe. Everything we do, even how we exist, is how our emotional pain shows up. Now, I want to be clear. This is pain, but this is also how our grief will show up. That's pain in your body. That's pain from having a heart attack. That's pain from having a migraine. But your grief pain shows up the exact same way. Grief pain isn't like a pulled muscle. It's not something you can walk off. You can't be at the Little League game and twist your ankle and your mom say, "Oh, hon, I want you to know your dog just died, and I'm so sorry. Yeah, why don't you take a walk around the block and see if you feel a little bit better?" We can't do that with our grief pain. It lingers, it hangs on. It sits in the chest like a boulder. It hides in the gut. It steals your breath away. Some grievers tell me sometimes the air is too thick for me even to breathe. It shows up when you least expect it. It wakes you up in the middle of the night. I'm talking about grief to pain. And sometimes, friends, it doesn't even scream. It seeps in quietly. And before you know it, you are in a full-on grief storm because you didn't know how you got there. I'm feeling great now. Thank you. Sometimes it hums quietly, right? In the background. All day long, it's messaging you through your thoughts, through your brains, through decisions that need to be made, how you see yourself. Friends, there is such a big, important thing that we need to understand is that grief shows up in two ways, right? It definitely is going to show up in our brain. It definitely is going to show up in our heart. It definitely is going to show up in our full body. So 3 ways. It's a full body experience. The brain really thinks it's running this thing. The heart is absolutely feeling this thing. And this is pain. It's grief pain. And we have thoughts. And these are emotions. And the whole time this is going on, this is happening. We're feeling it in every joint, in headaches that we're having. We're feeling it all over our body. And sometimes we get up and we're having a really good day. And we're like, I think I can do this. I can make it through this. And what ends up happening is that it seeps in a little bit at a time. And before you know it, your heart is starting to feel it. You might actually feel it in your stomach. And it starts to seep in. And before you know it, that day is gone into a full-on grieving day. Okay. What does pain look like for you? What does the pain look like for you right now? Where is it showing up the most for you? Drop one word in the comments that tells me, is it heavy? Is it sharp? Is it hollow? Is it loud? Is it numbing? Is it really quiet? How is your pain showing up for you right now? For the most part, for me, my pain showed up weeks after the loss. It showed up weeks and months after the loss for me, because one of the things that I did was I got into grief business. I got into the business of grief. And then the other thing I do is I'm really strong. I show up for everybody really strong. So it is not uncommon for me to not be able to feel the grief and have the aspects of grief until weeks later. So someone said it's all of it. It's screaming. It's stomach ache. It's sharp. Kristen says it's sharp. My heart to yours, Kristen. It's definitely in my heart. It's very heavy. It's overwhelming. My pain is in my chest. It depends on the day, but it's heavy in the morning for me. Morning was the hardest time for me as well, because every day I felt like I had to relive that grief pain. Okay. What is grief pain? We're working out grief pain. What is grief pain? All right. Grief pain is what you feel when something from you that really mattered was taken from you. When something or someone was taken from you. Okay, hear me out on this, you guys. The something could be your bike. It could be your computer. It could be your job. It could be your house. It could be your money. Somebody could have come in and robbed you of your money. That's going to cause a grieving experience. It could be your someone. It could be a divorce, breakup of a romantic relationship. It doesn't have to be death. So when something or someone was taken from you, your heart is going to feel it. This is grief. Your heart is definitely going to feel it. And it's something or someone that truly mattered, that mattered to you, a person, a future, a dream, your identity. Friends, you could have lost your person due to death, and your identity can absolutely be taken from you. You lose the us, who we were together. You lose, am I still a wife? Am I still a mother? You lose your identity. You lose who you truly were. Grief is not limited to just death. That is one of the major sources that we need to talk about, because here's the other thing. Let's say you have a death, right? Let's say your mom died. What do you lose with when the something that was taken from you? You lose your friendship. You lose your mom. You lose your person. You lose the one who showed up for you. You use the one who had your back. There's I didn't just lose my mom. Lost all of these things. I lost even she at times she shows up as my sister. Losing a mom and your friendship is huge. Losing a mom who was your person is huge. Losing a mom who was your soul sister is absolutely huge. So we're not just going to look at that and say, well, I lost my mom. For many of us, it's layers deep. I lost my mom. I am now grieving the version of the person who I was. The relationship ended, but she shaped who I was, and now I have to grieve that as well. What if you lost a parent that you didn't get to know very well? The future of getting to know them better is all lost. What if you lost a parent that you were in a fight with? The possibility to try and repair that is now gone. You can lose your health, your stability, your sense of safety. Absolutely, there is layers to losing your mom, your dad, your best friend. Your body keeps score. When you have a grieving experience, your nervous system goes into heightened alert. It really wraps itself around your heart. Everything that's going on, the nervous system goes into heightened alert. You feel it in your heart. You feel it in your gut. You feel it in your shoulders. You feel it in your sleep. You feel it in your sleep. Suzanne says the body remembers. Yeah, it remembers. Because here's the other thing. And this is what we're talking about with the body remembers. The body keeps score and it absolutely remembers. It causes inflammation. It causes brain fog. It causes stomach aches. It causes fatigue, emotional numbness. Try to be the griever and get next to the calendar when it's the anniversary of your person's loss. Tell me that your heart won't remember that. Here's what happens to a lot of grievers. The body's keeping score. Here's the day that their person died, or here's the day that it's their person's birthday. I'm going to give you a little bit more calendar time because that looked like a tic-tac-toe. All the way back here, we're going to be feeling like something is wrong. We're not quite sure what it is. We just feel like something is wrong. It doesn't hit us till all the way down here. I can't even tell you how many times grievers have come to me and they're like, something was off. I just didn't know what it was. This is what Miss Suzanne is talking about. The body remembers. It's like all of a sudden you're like, no wonder I've been grieving and crying. It's his birthday. It's the dog's birthday. It's my baby's birthday. You are not broken. You are not broken. You are carrying grief. You are carrying grief. You are carrying the pain of the world in your heart. You're carrying the pain of the world. I'm sorry, you're carrying the pain of grief that the world doesn't make space for. The world is not going to make space for your grief, my friends. And I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that. They're just not going to do it. I wish this information was different, but you're going to be the one that's grieving. Your nervous system is going off, and your friends are not going to show up for you. Your friends are going to be there to a degree, but after a while, they're ready for you to get back into the gang. They want you to come back to the gang, but you're over here going, I can't even eat. I can't even move. The world doesn't make space for your pain. The person who's going to make space for your pain is you. Absolutely you. Suzanne says, I'm not looking forward to Mother's Day. I am on Sunday doing, if you guys are in the grief group on Facebook called The Grief School, I'm going to be doing Sundays with Sharon this Sunday, helping you prepare for Mother's Day. Grief pain is not loud. What is this visual prompt? I had a visual prompt I was going to show you. Now I didn't get it ready. Sorry. Where does your grief, I want you guys to answer this question. Where does the grief live in your body? And let me know below. We said where we feel it a lot, but where does it live? Where do you feel it daily? Where do you feel the pull? For me, I feel the pull in my heart. I definitely feel the pull in my heart, but some people feel it in their face. Forest Living said, I broke my back. In their chest, in your heart. I definitely feel it in my heart. I feel a string pulling at my heart. It chokes me. I feel it in my heart. I'm not looking forward to Mother's Day or my mom's birthday. My heart, chest, my gut. Okay. This is grief pain. All right, everyone? That was grief pain. That's what I'm talking about. Now I want to talk to you about the difference between grief pain and suffering. Jerry says she feels it in her heart. There's an absolute difference between grief pain and suffering. Friends, it all feels like suffering when it first happens. I know that. But I want you to know that there's a difference between your pain, the pain of grief, versus suffering. We are all going to feel grief pain because we're grievers. We're going to feel sad. I feel it in my back. I feel it in my brain and headaches. I feel it in my heart and my stomach. I feel it in my gut. We're all going to feel that. But what is suffering? Let's draw a line between grief pain and suffering. Here's the deal, friends. There's nothing that I can do for you about this. If you are grieving, if you're going through a grieving experience, you're going to feel the pain of grief, period. There's nothing that I can do for you. I can't get in your heart and remove it. You can. I can guide you. I can show the Keisha. Yes, Keisha, there's two. There's one on the 27th and there's one on the 4th. It's going to be at 9 a.m. I'm going to be in TikTok at 8 a.m. On the 4th, Miss Keisha, if you're going to come to one, it's the one I want you to come to, because that's where Erica's going to be there. Erica is the mother of Donovan and Austin, and she's going to be sharing as being a mother and what it was like to go through the first Mother's Day without her child. So for all the ones that are mothers that are grieving the loss of a child, you can come to either one, you can come to both, but please try to come to the 4th. They will be in the Facebook group. They'll be recorded. So if you don't come to it live, you'll be able to watch it all throughout the day. I want to draw a line here. Suffering, for most of us, the suffering, the world adds to it. Grief pain is a natural response. Suffering is when we are refusing to do the grief, when we are avoiding. Avoiding causes undue suffering. When we are resisting the grief, when we don't want to let this in, it causes undue suffering. Pretending to be okay with our grief causes undue suffering, right? Suffering is anything that makes the pain worse. People's comments to us, the things that people say to us about our grief makes the pain worse. Not going after the broken heart makes our pain worse. Pain is the ache in your chest. Here's pain. It's the heart pain, right? The sadness that we feel, right? All of that, the sadness, tears, missing them. This is all grief pain. Wanting them back, asking the question why. All of that is pretty much normal grief pain. When people come into your world, one, you're avoiding, you're resisting, and you're pretending. That causes undue suffering. That's number one. Number two, people asking you to be over it. When people come onto your grief healing journey and they start telling you how to act, it causes suffering because it forces you to pretend. You thinking something is wrong with the way that you're grieving, I can't be doing this right. Constantly thinking something is wrong and being stuck in that something is wrong causes suffering. Feeling guilty for crying too much. Feeling guilty for not crying enough. Feeling guilty. The feeling of guilt causes undue suffering. Avoiding your pain causes undue suffering. Friends, I want you to understand this. We're going to feel the grief pain. You have to feel it. It's the only way out of this is you got to go through it. You got to feel the sadness, the brokenness that's in your heart. We have to feel all of that in order to get to the other side. There's no other way out of it but through it. Your thoughts. Tracy says your thoughts. What do you mean, Tracy, by your thoughts? Susan says, I had a close friend tell me to move on, basically get over it, and we haven't spoke since. I love the advice we get. Not only that, Miss Susan, the minute that happened, you then started to concentrate on what she said. You started to concentrate. Her comment took you out of your grief moment, took you out of your grief. Because now why would she say that to me? Why is she doing that? It robs you of time. It robs you of grief time. I've been distracting myself so I don't have to feel it. I know that I shouldn't. You're avoiding and resisting. You're under suffering. You're under the list of suffering. Okay, tell me if you are put GP for I'm feeling my grief pain, or S for suffering. Are you suffering or are you allowing the grief pain? Hear me out. I want to say something that's really important. I'm not going to write this on the board. Pain is clean. Pain is pure. Pain is your love. That was dirt. Pain is your love that has nowhere to go. Pain is clean. Pain is pure. Grief pain is normal. It is normal for us to go through grief pain. It is natural for us to go through grief pain. But what happens to a lot of us is we allow this suffering and we just stay in the suffering. If I meet you and you tell me my person died 10 years ago and I've never grieved once, I guarantee you've been in suffering, probably for longer than you want it to be. Suffering is what happens when we go silent, when we don't talk about it, when we don't talk about the love, when we don't talk about the grief, when we feel ashamed of grieving, when we feel that grieving is weak and we shouldn't share it with anyone. I 100% have sat with clients, even today, that haven't even started the tears yet. They haven't even started the tears yet because they are so into their brain and what other people are going to think and all the business of the grief, they haven't started crying yet. Is it wrong? No. But it's my job to tap, tap, tap and say, hey, friend, Joanne, I'm sorry I'm making you cry. I'm sorry, not sorry. It's my job to tell you, hey, sit in this for a little bit. Let it be there for a minute. It's going to be okay. I promise you. I promise you can go a little bit past this. Have you ever felt ashamed because you're grieving too long? Anyone here? Have you ever felt ashamed because you're grieving too hard? Does anyone feel like they're grieving too hard? Does anyone here feel like they're grieving too loud? Does anyone feel like they're grieving too loud? No, I can't make you cry. You have to do it yourself. If you feel like you're grieving too hard, too loud, too much, crying too much, I promise you are not alone. I promise you are not alone. You have to go through it. You have to go through it. Okay. What do we do with our grief pain? We tend to the grief pain. I say this all the time, but I want to go a little bit deeper with you guys. Grief pain needs to be tended to. We tend to the pain in our heart. How do you tend to the pain? Oh, please. Is this the marker that I had? You tend to the pain of grief in your heart. This is mostly the emotional grief, right? Number one, you honor the pain. You honor your person. You honor yourself as a griever. You honor what you lost. You do not rush it. You do not rush the grief. You let it show up on the days it's going to show up. You don't fix it. Don't try to fix it with alcohol, with food, with shopping. Don't fix this. And don't let anyone come in and try to fix it for you. This is yours to do with as you see fit. This grief is yours. You are the one that has to go through this grief. You hold it with care and with love. When you ignore your emotional pain, it doesn't disappear. It just starts to compound. And when it compounds, it becomes something so ugly that sometimes you don't feel like you're going to get through it. It becomes something so ugly. It becomes tension. It becomes anger. It becomes depression. Your job is not to eliminate the pain. Your job right now is to meet it where it's at. You are tending to the pain in your heart. You're meeting it where it's at. You absolutely, when you're honoring your pain, you can name your pain. You know what this feels in your heart. You know what the grief is. You know what it feels like. Okay, here's how we're tending. These are the rules to tending to the grief, right? I said you're not going to fix it. You're going to do these things. Number one, I'm going to try to write this small so I can get it all on there. You acknowledge. You acknowledge. You acknowledge your grief. This is grief. This is pain. And it is allowed to be here. I acknowledge I'm having pain. I know that my mom died and my heart feels sad. I'm having a tough day today. I'm having a heavy grief day. You acknowledge that you're having a grief day. I went to Easter Sunday service. I was blessed. Thought about Jan and Nicole. Oh, Lisa. Plus, Jesus rose for me. You acknowledge it. You acknowledge that you were a griever and that you were going to have this day. Number one, you acknowledge it. Number two, when we're tending to our grief pain, we feel it. We don't ignore it. We feel the emotion. We feel the emotions that show up for us. When we're tending to our pain, number one, we acknowledge it. Number two, we agree to feel the pain. Number three, tending to your pain, you express it. You express the pain. You express it through tears. You express it through screaming. You express it through crying. You express it through talking. You express it through writing. When you are tending to your grief pain, you acknowledge it, you feel it, and you express it. Number four, you get rest. You get grief rest. Why do I call it grief rest? Because sometimes you're going to sleep a whole Saturday. You're going to not wake up. You might get up in the morning and give your kids some cereal and milk, and you might go back to sleep for the rest of the day. You get your grief rest. Some days you're not grieving. You're sleeping. This moment of sleep is the only time you're getting respite from the pain, and you've got to have it. Your body has to renew itself. That's tending to the pain. And number five, and I think this is the most important, and I'm going to move this back, is you ask for help. You ask for help. You ask for help when you need it. When you're feeling so broken, you find a witness, not a fixer. You find someone who can help you, who's willing to listen, who has a heart that's willing to listen, who can just sit with you and hear what you have to say, who doesn't try to fix it, who doesn't try to change it. Another way you might tend to the grief is you might do some mini exercises. You might go out for a walk. You might take your shoes off and stand in the grass. You might take a really deep breath today. You might take a really deep breath. Barbara Santiago. I wish I could get help. I'm so lonely. My heart to yours, Diana. Truly, my heart to yours. Tammy says, you're my person, Barbara. You just came up on my FYP. I legit needed to hear you. Recently lost my dad. My heart to yours. Truly, my heart to yours. Barbara says, hey, Tammy. I see you. I know this hurts. And I'm going to care for this pain instead of ignoring it. That's acknowledging it. I go outside, I put my feet in the grass, and then I say, I'm going to take a really deep breath and I'm going to do this. Let me go over it again. Grief pain, we have to tend to it. We acknowledge that we have grief pain. We feel the pain, even the bad emotions. We agree to feel the bad emotions. We express this pain. We cry. We don't hold it in. We don't hold it back because someone else is there. We let this out. And in the acknowledgement is that you're saying, I know it's there. You get the grief rest that you needed. I'm giving you permission. If I need to write a prescription, I'll do that for you to get a full day's sleep. And we ask for help when we need it. Okay, of the 5 steps, I want you to give me the number. Which one feels the hardest for you? Which one do you think is going to be the hardest for you to do? Is it acknowledging it? Put a number 1. Feeling it? Put a number 2. Expressing it, crying, talking about it, sharing with others? Put a number 3. Getting grief rest? Put a number 4. And number 5, ask for help. Tracy says, ask for help. Tracy, I'm shocked that you're saying that because you're always here sharing your story. Thank you, Tracy. Susan said 5. Tammy says 4. Getting grief rest. Joanne says 3. Expressing it. 2. Michelle says 2. Feeling it. Denise says 2. Cindy says 3. Thank you, guys. Wifey, I don't know the first part. It's 4. She says 4 and 5. Aida says 1. You have a hard time acknowledging it, Aida? Okay. I want to talk about reducing the suffering. I've talked about tending to the grief pain. Now I want to talk about reducing the suffering. You guys probably wonder why I'm on here so late. I'm on here late because I started my day late. Not on purpose, it just happened that way. Here's something I want you guys to know about suffering, grief suffering. I'm going to put grief suffering. Come on, pen, start writing. Here's the big clue about grief suffering that I want you guys to know. Everybody pay attention. Here it is. It is optional. Grief suffering is optional. You have the choice whether you're going to allow the suffering or not. It is optional. You reduce suffering by removing what inflames the pain. So, whatever is making the pain worse, we remove that, right? Sometimes it's going to be the friends. So I'm not going to talk to them anymore. Sometimes it's going to be the food, the chocolate chip cookies and the drinks. Let me put your friends back because I made chocolate chip cookies out of them. Whatever is causing the pain, we need to remove it from our life. We need to get rid of it. Is it the alcohol? Look, you're going to feel the pain in your heart. That's period. You're going to feel the pain in your heart. We remove toxic people who rush our healing. We remove unsolicited advice. If someone gives you some unsolicited advice, I want you to right there tell them, thank you. That was not helpful. Thank you for that. I can't go into it right now. That is not helpful. That's not making me feel good. Rosa, do you have plans for the birthday? Someone says you're making me crave cookies. Unsolicited advice from people who don't get it. Your own inner voice telling you that you are doing this wrong. You've got to go after that. What are they telling you? You should be over this already. You're doing this wrong. Why are you crying so much? If your inner voice is hitting you like that, then you need to work on that thought. You need to work on that thought. She said, I dropped a friend and ghosted her. I felt bad for a long time. I don't anymore. They don't know how to show up for us. I promise you. They really don't know how to show up for you. The expectations that you should return to normal as quickly as possible is wrong. First of all, what is normal? And when are you going back to that? I've never gone back to what I was before. I have never gone back to that. I haven't gone back. I'm different. I'm completely different. Okay, here's some of the ways that you can reduce this optional grief suffering. Here we go. You ready? You've got to set boundaries. You've got to set boundaries with everyone. The boundaries are for you. The boundaries aren't for them. You don't set a boundary and say, hey, don't come over on Monday. That's not a boundary. Hey, I'm having a really hard time with my grief. I wish you would stop coming over right now. I really need a break. If you come over next Monday, when I've told you that I'm having a really hard time, I'm not going to open the door. If you do this, if you come over on Monday, I will do this. And then you name it. If you, blah, 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 I will, and then you name it. Hey, that's how you set a boundary. The boundary is for you. A grief boundary is for you. I'm going to call these grief boundaries. The boundary is for you. It's for you to keep you safe. It's for your pain. It doesn't have anything to do with them. So we're talking about ways to reduce suffering. That was number one. Number two is speak kindly to yourself. Speak kindly to yourself. This really hurts. This really hurts. I love him so much. I miss him. But I'm not going to take this out on myself. I'm going to sit here, and I know this is going to be painful, but I'm just going to sit here, and it's okay. I'm going to be okay. Speak kindly to yourself. That's number two. Number three, protect your energy. If your friends want you to go to the Dodger game, but you don't want to do that, then don't do it. Grievers have choices. Not doing something is a choice. You need to protect your energy for yourself and from them. They will want you to go to the mall and go shoe shopping. I promise you they will. They're going to want you to go to the mall. They're going to want you to go shoe shopping. They're going to want you to get back to living. It is your job to protect your energy. You're going to need it. Grief takes every bit of energy you have. Every ounce of energy you have, it's going to take it up to do this. Number four, slow down. Slow down. Don't rush. You don't have to rush through this grief thing. You don't have to rush and get the celebration of life done in a week. Take the time that you need to take. Take the time that you need to take. Hey, you're going to get 3 days of bereavement. I wish it was different. Rosa says, my energy is down right now. Rosa, go to yourself and find out where you're going, where you're expelling energy. Okay, that was number four. Number five, find support. Okay, while we're on the subject, support. You can come to my lives Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. You can come to the lives. I'm breaking down grief for you. I'm telling you what it is. I'm showing you what it is. You can come to the lives that way, and I will teach you the definition of grief. This is part of the definition. It is vast. It is wide. You can come to Grief Study Hall, which is every Tuesday and Thursday. You can come join the Facebook group, the Grief School. These are ways that you can get free support right now. Not everything I do is free, but these are the things I'm telling you. It's community. These are how we're grieving in the community. These are things I'm offering back to my community. You can listen to my podcast. You can read my blog. It's all there for you. Find support through Grief Study Hall. You can go in the link in my bio. You can sign up to get on the wait list for Grieve That Shit. Grieve That Shit is the book that I have that I'm working on like a crazy person. And actually, you guys, you want to know something? This pain versus suffering is part of the Grieve That Shit. I actually got the lesson out of there. Starting probably starting this week, I'm going to be teaching mostly out of here. I'm going to be reading out of here and teaching out of here. I've written enough to teach out of here for a year. And I had to stop because I could still put more stuff in there. Find ways to set your boundaries. Find ways to protect your grief. Friends, this is 100% for you. Denise said, commercial, do a commercial. This grief is yours. It's yours to do with as you see fit. The grief is yours. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. Hear me out. I'm going to be here to guide you. But I sure as hell can't come into your house and save you. You got to save yourself. There's nobody showing up at your door that's going to tell you you got this and pick you up and help you get through it. You got to do this yourself, 100%. I'm the guide. I'm not the savior. So I want to leave you with this. Your pain is here because you loved deeply. Your pain is here because you had a boy you loved. You had a girl you loved. I have a mom I loved. I had a fur baby I loved. This makes you human. The fact that you are grieving makes you human. It does not make you broken. You are not broken. You do not have to stay in this pain forever. You have to carry this pain and tend to the pain. But carrying the suffering and choosing to be in suffering and staying in the suffering, on the other hand, is totally optional. You've got to grieve your way out of this. You can come out with a heart that is still capable of love, that is still capable of feeling. You lost your voice. Oh, yeah. My heart to you, my friend. Okay. Here's my commercial that everybody's asking for. My name is Sharon Brubaker, and I'm a grief specialist. I'm the owner of the Grief School, the place where healing begins. In 2006, my nephew Austin drowned at the lake. I had been through a couple of grieving experiences. I lost my grandparents and I lost an aunt, but I didn't know anything about grieving. I didn't know all of this. I didn't know any of this. I wanted to help my sister because I honestly thought she was broken. I thought she was broken and I wanted to help her. And here's the deal, friends. If any of this resonates with you, I'm giving back to the community so many things. Thank you, Keisha, for the hearts. I give back to the community by showing up at Grief Study Hall twice a week. I do a podcast. I do a blog. There's so many resources that I have for you. But most importantly, I have the book that's coming out. My goal is the end of this month. And I'm working very hard to get that done. And it's called Grieve That Shit. And from there, we're going to rock and roll. We're really going to take off. Grief Study Halls every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday at 1 Central Standard Time and Thursday at 10. Come here and let us witness your grief. I am on YouTube. I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook. Join the Facebook group, The Grief School. There I go live. I ask questions. There's a lot of going on in that community. But here's the deal I want you to understand. I want you guys to hear this from me. Grief sucks, and it sucks big time. And it will suck the life right out of you. It will suck your future life right out of you. It will suck every bit of energy that you have. It is up to you, friends, to do the thing that you need to do. You are not alone. You are here with, we call ourselves the Grief Gang, and you're getting help, and we're honored to have you here. So if you're on TikTok, go to the link in my bio, and there you can find out everything about me. There you can find the book, the Grieve That Shit, and you can get on the wait list. You can join the Facebook group there. You can join the Grief Study Hall there. Austin drowned in 2006. In 2007 was the first class that I got certified in. In 2014, my dad died of prostate cancer. In 2015, Austin's oldest brother, Donovan, died in a motorcycle accident. And in 2017, my girlfriend Sharon died of glioblastoma. Those are the 4 relationships that I mostly share in my program. I'm very open about my grief. I'm very open about sharing. But here's the deal. I'm wanting to make a difference in the way we grieve. We've got to change the way that we grieve. We cannot keep grieving the way that we always have, because I'm telling you, the old way that we've been grieving with those stages and all of those other things are wrong. They're outdated, it's old, and it's time to kick it to the curb. There's one way through this, and that is through your heart, and that is absolutely through feeling this. Okay, friends, I'm going to say goodnight. I love each and every one of you. I will be back tomorrow night to see you all, and I will have another lesson. I'll see you all tomorrow night. TikTok, Facebook group, wherever you follow me, that's where I will be tomorrow night. I'll see you all. Thank you so much. Come on.